Wow, what a beautiful world. Children playing in the streets, farmers tilling away at the soil, and of course, nuclear bombs raining over Australia. More than just Australia, nuclear bombs raining across the entire world on the scale that has never been seen before. And after that, not a single soul remains alive on this planet. As we press unpause, the world begins healing, but it has been replaced with a vast nuclear wasteland which spreads across the entire planet, with conditions that are almost impossible to support life. And we are going to be following this wasteland for the next 1,000 years and see if potentially some sort of life can return, but it's not going to be easy. If we go into the world laws here, we can see that almost every single important world law is turned on right now, giving the ultimate chance for life to return and adapt to this hellish environment. But only time will tell. So we press unpause, and we can see that irradiated nuclear plants have already begun spawning in, which any new species that spawn in could use for wood if they want to make their own civilizations. But right now, only a few mobs have spawned in. Let's see who they are. Looks like we have some rats up here in the UK. Honestly, not really that surprised by that at all. Naturally, a lot of blob species will spawn in because they love the irradiated environment. And, oh, even a crab has spawned in here in Australia. You know, honestly, Australia is already in such a bad state. I would be surprised if those nukes even had any noticeable impact on the country. So I bet these crabs are already used to this environment. But anyway, as we let time pass, obviously, you know, not a lot's going on right now. We did just witness a nuclear apocalypse that quite literally killed thousands of people. So we are going to go ahead and sim 250 years to 1/4 of our goal, which since we started at year 200 is year 450, and I'll see you guys then. And here we are 250 years later, and as you can see, a ton of kingdoms have spawned in, with over 900 sapient people already. However, I forgot to turn on the info views that actually lets you see the kingdom names. So what exactly are these creatures? Oh, okay. Slimes, that makes a lot of sense. A skeleton kingdom, rats, and crabs. Crabs are just everywhere. I don't think I've had a single one of these videos ever where crabs have not been involved. How are they so resistant and resilient? They are literally everywhere. But I guess let's just look at some of the biggest kingdoms here. So obviously, let's start with this giant rat kingdom that has taken over North America of Ikid. They've existed for most of that time lapse, and they are led by King of Veem. Okay, that's fair. Now let's look at this giant blob kingdom down here. The Dromi Kingdom, and they are led by King Sly. But of course, we have to investigate the Crab Kingdom here of Krabo, and they're led by King Bok. They have also existed for a very long time too. That's interesting. And you know, looking at their subspecies here, I noticed something very interesting. They are not adapted to the wasteland biome, which is insane considering the entire world is a wasteland. So wait, where are they living? Oh yeah, they're living in the Sahara Desert because there's no biomes here. Honestly, I don't even know which one's worse, living in like a blazing hot, scorching desert with no water in sight, or you know, a radioactive hellscape full of whatever the hell these buildings are and these weird blob creatures. But just because these are all of the creatures that actually have kingdoms, it doesn't mean these are all the creatures that exist. So we're gonna look on the animals tab here just to see what everything still alive is. Holy crap, we have a human still alive. There is one human somewhere. Ironically, their description is Masters of Adaptations. Guys, after the nukes dropped, you saw there was no people. This human naturally spawned in, which by the way, I didn't even know was possible. But I have no clue where he is. We're gonna have to find out where he is in a second. There's also one dwarf too. Hundreds of the acid gentlemans. And other than sapient crabs and rats, there is no other sapient life. But I still am fascinated to see where this human is. Oh crap, he's up here. Oh my god. There's a little bit of actual land here. I might have actually missed this with the nuke because this is really far away. But somehow a human ended up spawning here. He's been alive for 227 years. He has great stats and obviously, as you can tell, but obviously he does not have the Miracle Born trait. If he had that trait, it would mean that I spawned him into the world. But since he doesn't have that, that means he was naturally spawned in here. Of course, looking into his subspecies though, he is not adapted to the wasteland, which is going to make it almost impossible for him to have a kingdom. But Creatures can naturally evolve traits like this, but maybe if our boy Greedard right here can somehow adapt, he may be able to form his own kingdom, and for once, humanity can begin thriving once again. That is actually going to be insane. But for now, that is all that's going on here. Hopefully, we can maybe get a human kingdom. But now we are going to sim another 250 years to halfway at our marker, which is year 700. Time-lapse over. Time-lapse has ended a bit early. Why did everyone just blow up? The Sahara Desert is gone. What's going on? What just happened? So many bombs just dropped. Wait, a meteor just fell. I didn't do anything. Are we going through a second nuclear apocalypse? I'm not sure. I was looking to see in these subspecies if they had the death bomb trait, but none of them have anything. I have no clue. There have been thousands of deaths from explosions, which there's no way there's been that. Oh, wait. Well, if you don't count the beginning of the video. But still, even if you do include that, this is still an abnormally high amount of deaths. But I guess there's nothing I can do about it. I guess we're actually going to sim the year 700 now, halfway there, and we're gonna see if, I guess, anything's left alive. And here we are at year 750. Yes, I know I said year 700, but I completely just lost count. But that doesn't matter. You see it, I see it. Human kingdom has formed. Who's the king? Hello. Oh, that's not our guy. He could be from the same species, though. Homo sapiens. 526 years. This is the same one. This is the same species. But yeah, now they naturally got the Wasteland adaptation. Sweet. I honestly didn't even know humans could live. Somehow, the humans did not give up, and they were able to respawn or just survive the nukes. And look at this. Human civilization, human houses and stuff. Of course, it's all irradiated, but this is essentially just Fallout. Australia, at some point, literally just blew up. Yet somehow, for some god unbeknownst reason, the humans decided to form a kingdom here. Which honestly, like, irradiated or not, I would not want to live down here, but whatever. I mean, Africa's gone. The Middle East is gone. Well, I mean, that's probably not even, like, the worst thing that's ever happened to it either. But, like, I mean, still, like, what happened? It always appears whenever these rats get into wars with anybody, they just obliterate their competition. We're still solving the mystery of where the Sahara Desert went. This world's still looking epic. If we look at most interesting people, the oldest person is a sapient rat who has lived for over 1,000 years? Yeah, that doesn't add up. That doesn't add up at all. But anyway, that's pretty much the only interesting stat here. I mean, I guess this slime does have 16 kills. We should probably not overlook that. But that is all that's going on here. We're going to sim another 250 years to 3/4 of our goal. But I guess since we went an extra 50 years, that'll be year 950. And I'll see you guys then. And here we are at year 904. Yeah, I'm getting really sloppy with this. At least we're not 50 years off like last time. And honestly, not a lot has changed here. There hasn't been a lot of conflict, despite diplomacy being on. However, 10,000 people have now died roughly, which is concerning considering I don't have old age or hunger turned on. So let's just look at where those came from first. Conflict, creatures being eaten, and explosions, even more than last time. You know, I would say that creatures eaten should be a little too high, because, you know, that's 1,500 creatures being eaten. But then we just gotta look at these guys as subspecies, scroll down, and yeah, just casual cannibalism. And the funniest part about this is since hunger is turned off, these guys are literally just committing cannibalism for the love of the game. Veem is still the oldest, which is concerning because even though a little over 200 years passed, he's somehow gotten over 300 years older. But anyway, we are going to do our last sim here. However, I'm going to spice things up a bit, but I want to put this rat kingdom at war with this slime kingdom and this human kingdom at war with this slime kingdom, just to see what happens and maybe if more explosions happens, because we still haven't figured out what caused that. But anyway, since we started at year 200, I will see you guys at year 1200, which is all the way there. I'm just realizing now that I really messed up the math of this video, but when we get back here, 1,000 years will have passed. I'll see you guys then. And here we are 1,000 years later, and our world is even more scarred. It was the rats. These rats are unstoppable. I don't even know why. But look, even more land has been destroyed. Anything they touch, they just obliterate. The humans also lost their war too, but they're still alive in a kingdom called WASTELAND, who is permanently confined to Australia, which honestly might be a fate worse than death. I feel bad for them. But at least humans are alive. I mean, look at this. They have one house. Wow. And these rats here reign supreme, but hold up, I just gotta understand how they do it. We're going to have them declare war on the Drapster Slime Kingdom here, send some troops over, wait for these explosions, and just understand what the hell is going on. Like, look, you just see that? A nuke just went off. I'm completely baffled by how this is possible. No, these are meteors. Wait a minute. Religion. Right above falling stars, summon meteorites to bring destruction from above. Holy crap, they can summon meteors. But also, they don't even have the Bloodshine Bond trait, which is a trait that means only clan members can use their powers. Since they don't have it, all 777 members can cast meteors at will on their enemies. That's so overpowered, and that's in the base game. That's not even a mod. Oh god. And these meteors are huge too. This is arguably worse than that nuclear war. Well, they're gone, and not even a single scratch has been laid on this kingdom here. Well, if you want to create your own nuclear war in WorldBox without mods, that's how you do it. This dude Avim keeps getting older. He is now 2020 years old, even though only 1200 years have passed. Magic works in weird ways anyway. Moral of the story is, don't mess with the rats. And if you're still watching at this point, go ahead and like and subscribe. But that's about all for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.